why aren't you wearing pants?
Do I need pants?
Well, I mean, no, I guess. I was just curious why you weren't wearing pants.
Just because it's hot and I'm in my house. I don't like wearing pants.
I mean, I guess you don't have to wear pants on YouTube, but...
It's more intimate.
Well, apparently I'm the only one that's dressed today. Why is nobody dressed?
Hey, who can tell?
If you were to make a mistake while being kind of sexually aroused, what would you say?
I'm sorry?
Libido.
Just not even, no.
Do. Roll the opening.
Hello!
Welcome back to
What's Safeword?
I'm Amp.
I'm Miss Christopher.
And today...
We are going low. Libido. No?
Sex, libido, quarantine. How are all you guys doing in this weird new normal that we're currently living in?
I'm tired of having sex with myself.
Today's episode, we're gonna talk about libido and some sexual intimacy secrets that might help you to feel a little bit more empowered during quarantine. Because I think it's not only healthy to talk about the fact that we're all feeling a little weird and we're all having weird sex lives, but also I think helpful to talk about our own experiences and decompress and destigmatize being not okay with sex right now.
Okay.
No,
I'm into
not
it.
okay.
No, not okay.
No, okay.
But I want to hear about, oh my God.
So Daddy, before we get into the episode, I think it's important to talk about what libido is. How would you define libido?
How horny you are, what your sex drive, how high it is.
Are you driving
I'm
yourself
driving right
crazy?
now. I'm
okay.
sex driving.
What gear are you in?
High. Lots of testosterone.
Meanwhile, some of us are not to that level. We're not going 0 to 60. We are in the passing lane. No, And while some of us are in the passing lane, I'm over here just, I'm taking my time. I'm just cruising on the right. Don't want to get pulled over by the sex police.
Are you the puppy with your head out the window, trying to catch bugs?
No, I'm not trying to catch bugs because I'm not having sex.
Get tested.
When we talk about libido, we also talk about arousal, desire, or even, as you said, sex drive, which actually isn't a thing.
How is that not a thing?
Sexual relevance.
What, am I not sexually relevant anymore?
What? Well, we kind of have to break that down. So like desire is wanting to have sex, whereas arousal is,
Boing.
yes, being turned on, where sexual relevance is noticing something that turns you on or gives you a sexual stimuli and reacting to that. Sometimes we don't react to sexual stimuli because having a boner doesn't mean that you want to have sex necessarily, and not having a boner doesn't mean you don't want to have sex.
Sometimes I have sex without a boner.
Arousal. But when we talk about, for instance, sex drive, people have this notion that like, if you have sexual energy, you have to be fulfilling it, you have to have sex. Our society is very sex-driven, sex drive. But the topic of sex drive itself is actually very conflicting. A lot of people don't believe that it exists, and I'm kind of the same notion. We don't have this need to have sex because it's not something that we can't live without. Like for instance, things like water or food, we literally need to do that. We need to eat and drink things in order to survive, but sex is a little bit different.
But what about intimacy? People who have been quarantining are missing intimacy, and humans need that.
True, absolutely. But that is to say, people don't need sex. Some people are asexual, and they don't need that sex to happen, but they do still require or want intimacy because that makes them feel like a fully fledged, fully rounded person, which is totally normal.
What is normal?
What is normal?
Deep thoughts.
Deep thoughts. Give us another deep thought.
That's all I got.
But before we get into real deep thoughts, we have to deeply thank today's sponsor, HELIX Sleep. If you've watched any of our videos in the last year, you've probably seen some of our HELIX sponsorships, which means you also know that you're not going to spend a lot of libido on something that's especially important, sleeping. With HELIX Sleep. And while Amp, got a new mattress, Daddy was incredibly jealous, but thanks to the support that you guys have shown us and HELIX Sleep through the show, they've sent Daddy his very own mattress as well. Better yet, HELIX knows that everybody is different, and they let us do the sleep test one more time, showing both mine and Daddy's sleep preferences, where he's more of a back sleeper and I'm more of a side sleeper, put in our heights, our weights, our ages, and we found the perfect mattress specifically for him. Because it turns out you can take the sleep quiz by yourself or with a partner. And based on our results, we got the HELIX Midnight Luxe. And our other favorite part about the HELIX mattress process is the unboxing of the actual mattress itself. It comes in a nice small box, you cut it open, you avoid the daddies.
Hello. Wait, where are you going? No, come back.
And then you let the mattress actually expand, which happens in just a matter of minutes.
Listen to it.
Shh. ASM, are you ready for comfort?
Beyond HELIX mattresses being built to kill it in the sleeping department, they're also well tested and bounced on rigorously, so you know that they're good for this sexy time in
Stop it.
mind.
Hey, stop.
They're not only easy to buy online, but they also provide the best customer service as they deliver it right to your door for free and provide you with a 100-night sleep trial. So you get more than 3 months to take your mattress on a spin for some cock destroying. And if you don't like it, they'll pick it up for you and give you a full refund. So if you'd like to try out HELIX Sleep, use the offer code WATT down below for up to $200 off of your mattress and 2 free pillows on us. And if you've already used our code and gotten yourself a wonderful mattress, we do have another recommendation to help you in the bedroom. The HELIX Ultra Cool Pad.
This is perfect for regulating body heat for people that run really hot, and personally for someone who has to sleep with someone who runs really hot, it's a lifesaver. I mean, super cool.
Like me.
Yes. Chill out, daddy.
Again, that's helixsleep.com/WATT.
And we want to talk about just the topic of arousal, libido, and your sex drive, which doesn't exist, because it's especially relevant right now. We're going through it ourselves, and I think it's important to talk about the disjointedness that can happen when you're in weird environments, or when you're going under stress, or going through hardships. And so we want to talk about the mismatchedness of what it can be libido, desire, arousal during a pandemic, because it's especially relevant. Sexually relevant, some might say, but also we're going through it ourselves, and I want to just unpack it.
Let's unpack it.
Or we can also do some packing as well.
Yeah, we can.
And also, hey, if you're new here and just finding our channel, welcome. This is What's a Safeword. We are a sex positive channel that talks about a few kinks.
And sex.
And sex. Sex! Now we're gonna get into the secrets of how to spark that relationship and grow intimacy and get closer to your partner.
It's not that easy.
No, that's how you get further away sometimes. Some people are not in a sense.
That's nonsense.
So first, let's talk about the things that really affect our energies around sex, our libido, and our arousal. What do you think the first thing would be, Daddy?
Stress.
Ooh, well, absolutely, because stress is literally everything going on at all times, what's affecting our lives, the people we're seeing. When we have too much going on up here, it can be hard to keep things going down there, especially when it gets to be like this thing called survival stress. Do you know what that is?
No. Is that like a reality show?
Yes, it's like Naked and
Survival
Afraid, but a
stress.
lot more clothes, and you're sometimes stuck with other people in a space that you can't escape.
That sounds stressful. What's survival stress?
Well, survival stress is where your body goes into this state of just needing to survive. So doing whatever you can throughout the day to get things done. And generally when that happens, your body tends to shut down. You don't want to procreate. You don't want to have sex. You don't want to put that energy out there. And so sometimes that can really just dampen your sex altogether.
What if you put that energy into a bag of chips?
I believe that's called stress eating, actually.
But doesn't survival stress bring that on?
Judges? In fact, NBC News did a COVID-related study recently where they asked 9,000 people how COVID has affected their sex lives.
24% had a positive effect.
28% had a neutral effect, while the remaining 47% said that they had a negative effect on their sex life. So I think that it's especially relevant to just sexually relevant to talk about how we change and how we react to being put under these stressful situations.
I can put you in a stressful
No,
situation.
That wasn't an ass, was it? In fact, does lead me to my next point, which is anxiety.
Oh! I love causing anxiety.
No.
I do it every week. Are you anxious, puppy? You anxious?
Anxiety has a huge effect on our libido. If we're going under a bunch of anxiety, which we all are with this pandemic, it's going to affect how we sexually want to be active or not.
With each other or by yourself. And I know personally a big change in my libido was a change in my lifestyle, which was more eating and drinking and watching Netflix.
And while Netflixing and chilling is great, there should be a lot more chilling and a lot less stress eating or drinking. When you're put into these environments, you do tend to adopt new habits that aren't always great. I know that because my gym's closed down, I'm not doing as much working out. And that's absolutely giving me kind of a body dysmorphic sort of feeling. I'm not feeling great about my body, and in turn doesn't make me feel sexy about myself.
Yeah, that's stressful. Same for me. Yeah, and for me, that gives me sort of a low self-esteem and makes me not want to have sex as much.
Meanwhile, we just did a full mukbang episode, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
Yes, so the puppy's been force feeding me. This is his fault.
You weren't complaining at the time.
I never complain about food. Or let's talk about age.
I'd rather not. My birthday just happened. I'm feeling old.
So you don't get to say you're feeling old. I'm 2 decades older than you. As you age, you produce less hormones and testosterones that make you want to engage in sex, and that's okay.
Am I a daddy now? Judges?
I'm not 20 anymore. I don't get up and go like I used to.
And that does affect our libidos. A lot of my friends I know as they get older, and especially during this pandemic, have said that they've actually started taking a little bit of testosterone because their doctors have said that your levels are low. In fact, at-home tests for testing hormones, testosterone, getting tested, that's something that we still offer as well.
Let's get checked.
Not sponsored, but if you are feeling like you're feeling off in some way, a lot of people are going through random bouts of depression or just feeling a lot more down. And it's really important to take your sexual and mental health seriously because, and I don't know if this is the same for you, like what also affects my libido is when I'm not having a lot of sex, I'm not really thinking about having more sex. What's important to remember though is that your libido ebbs and flows. Much like our sex energies, we don't always want to have, we're not always turned on, we're not always like, because all these things affect us. But as it goes away for a bit, it does come back. And plenty of researchers have said that once life gets back to more of a normal, whatever the hell that means, state, we will see our sex drives come back, our libidos bounce back, and we're gonna be more sexual. But we also have to be conscious of, it's okay if you feel down right now.
And another point to make is sex and intimacy are 2 different things.
You can have sex with someone without being super intimate, and you can be intimate in so many different ways with your partner without having any sex, and that still brings you guys closer together. Aww.
Smell daddy.
No, not intimate. And don't even get me started on mismatched libidos, which are a thing that can be really, really sensitive when you're trapped with when you're in quarantine with someone for long periods of time.
Yeah, some people's sex drives are higher than others, and the one with the lower sex drive feels like they need to keep up.
Some of us are a little anxious and stressed, and they got work to do, and there's a podcast, now there's a Twitch, you follow us on Twitch, and then daddy needs something, and then we have to move. But that's where communication is key. And so matching the low libido to the high libido partner, or the high to low, should never be the goal. The goal here is compromising, communicating, and finding a level playing ground that works for you. You're never gonna be on the same kink or libido wavelength or even arousal wavelength with your partner, and that's okay.
Don't say never, but if you're not, it's okay.
You're never always, is what I'm saying.
There you
Never
go.
always going to be on the
Fine.
same. And I think that there's actually a really good book called Come As You Are that does a wonderful job of talking about differences in libido, arousal, and even breaking down the different kind of terminologies, especially destigmatizing your sex drive, which isn't a thing, but you do drive me crazy, and I love you.
Can you do another book called Come Where You Are?
Sure.
Come where you are. Get it? C-U-M. Get it?
Actually, why do some people spell cum, C-U-M, and some spell it C-O-M-E? Well, I think this is a good time to pivot and talk about how to not only destigmatize, but deal with stress and anxiety that might be killing your libido. What's a way that you de-stress at the end of the day?
Jacking off.
No, I know you're saying that somewhat jokingly, but that's actually a really good point. If you don't feel sexual, or you're not feeling aroused, or you're just wanting to blow off some steam but not sure how, getting into a habit of jerking off is actually a thing. In fact, it's called maintenance masturbation. There is a term for it, we're not making it up.
Is it like cleaning your house every weekend?
Yes.
You're cleaning out the cum webs?
Never, no, never refer to my cum as cum webs, please.
What if they're ropey?
How about working out as well?
Oh, yeah. Doing a good pump, making a good sweat, that gets you actually excited and moving and blood flowing and circulating. And when you're done, you want to just
You're just all over the actions and movements
Yeah.
today. Working out can be a great way to not only heighten your happiness level, getting all the good chemicals flowing, but it can also make you feel sexy at the end of the day, because when you're looking sexy, you ain't gotta get well, I mean, if you feel sexy, you ain't gotta get sexy.
Oh, she educated.
Well, actually, working out releases some endorphins. So that is a great segue into sex.
How about treat yourself?
Oh, yeah. Wear something nice that makes you feel sexy. Put on some spandex. Put on anything lacy. Anything that makes you feel good.
Leather and lace.
Leather and lace. And walk around the house like a freak.
I mean, if that makes you feel sexy, yes.
Let your freak flag fly.
Say tongue twisters. So much fun. In In fact, Dr. Rachel Needle, licensed psychologist and certified sex therapist, agrees that sexual desire waxes and wanes. I mean, if you want to talk about pampering, remember when I brought the wax over? And
Wax on, wax off. Ow! Oh, okay. It raised my endorphins.
Anyway, Rachel said, at times we have to make a conscious effort to be intimate with our partners. If we sit around and we just wait for it suddenly to happen or get into the mood, it just won't. That's not how, it doesn't happen. That's not how that happens.
Gotta put some effort into it.
Especially the body language.
It's like working out.
Body language. But Rachel goes on to say, mixing things up or trying something new, including relationship or sex games and activities, can be helpful to bringing fun, intimacy, excitement, and desire back into the relationship. She then gives 10 lovely games that she recommends will increase your sexual desire and your libido.
Is it Naked Twister?
Not specifically, but Daddy, are you down to try these games?
Oh, you make me do sex games every freaking week. Whether I'm down to or not.
You're welcome. So these are the top 10 tips, tricks, and games to play that might help you with your intimacy and libido during this quarantine.
There are 10 of them.
How many?
10.
10?
10.
10?
10.
The first one on this list is whisper sweet, sexy nothings to your partner.
If you're whispering nothing, then are you
Oh
whispering?
my God.
Could you hear it?
No.
It's because I was whispering nothing.
No, but whispering sweet nothings, like getting into it, is almost like dirty talk. It's kind of like sexting in real life.
Your makeup is terrible.
How dare you? Be silly with it, but have a good time, and it's gonna take some practice. No one's good at dirty talk from the get-go. I mean, most people just go, fuck, ooh,
Yeah, you like that,
you
don't
like
you?
That.
You like that, don't you?
You know what I don't like?
That, don't you?
Being told what I like.
You better like that, don't you?
Instead, if you're trying to do sexy talk or whispering or just getting kind of, put a little bit of gravel behind it.
Yeah.
Tell your partner what you're gonna do. And then follow through and ask them, but in a really sexy way, if they're enjoying it.
Yeah, you like that, don't you?
Well, I mean, kind of, I guess. But with more like grr.
You like that, don't you, girl?
Next tip. The next tip, play everyday games or go through everyday actions, but make it sexier. Take your clothes off. If you're playing games like Twister, Naked Twister.
What if you're playing Uno?
Absolutely.
Do your YouTube videos with no pants on. I'll get the cards.
When did you take your pants off?
And my favorite, cooking and feeding each other, but making it sexy.
Ooh.
Yeah, you want that, don't you? Yeah, eat it. Yeah. Da 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 da. You like that, don't you?
And on this one, make sure that you are making eye contact constantly and really make it sexy.
Yeah. More.
The next tip, create an at-home spa. Surprise your partner with something nice.
Ooh, we get a spa?
Yeah, let's see here.
Where are we gonna put the hot
Just
tub?
gonna. Ooh, yeah, isn't that nice?
Yeah, deeper. Deeper.
Spa treatments, rubbing your partner down, giving them a massage is not only intimate, but it lets you touch your partner. It lets you see how they move and react. It
Ow!
takes communication and patience. Do you hear that? Patience. But just talk to your partner.
A little to the left.
Have Alexa. Put on some royalty-free spa music.
Don't say her name. Alexa, call me daddy.
I'd rather not.
What a libido killer. The next point on this list said, give your partner's ears extra attention.
Okay. That's what you're supposed to do to dogs to calm them down and rub their earlobes.
Is this calming?
No, this is anything but.
I love you.
Is that really a point?
That was a point.
Rub your partner's ears?
It said, give your partner's ears extra attention. I think the real point being made there is to find erogenous zones that don't always get used on your partner.
Are you sure they didn't mean listen to your partner more?
I mean, you could definitely do that too. But isn't this look? Ooh, yeah.
No, I'm not a dog.
Ooh.
Okay, I don't think this is a good point. Ooh, and one of my favorites, watching porn together. Watch it! Watch it! Oh my god, such good moaning. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but that lighting is all wrong. That camera angle's not great. It's just. Jokes aside though, I actually like that point of watching porn or sending your partner something that you're into because it opens up the conversation around sex, what you're interested in, and maybe what you want to try.
Yeah, introduce some new things into the relationship.
But also, it is a good conversation to have as well because porn And fantasy is not reality.
But it is fantasy, and that turns you on.
Exactly. The next point just says, take a shower together, which I actually think is really intimate.
Saves water.
Yeah, and it saves water.
Are you talking about showers in the shower or golden showers?
Oh my God. You know what? The normal kind of shower together, but make it more intimate and sexy.
And gold.
You know, maybe you just watch some.
And another fun point from the list is dancing together at home.
Oh God.
We haven't gone dancing together.
I know. This one's fun because you haven't danced together in a while.
See, oh my God.
Next up was role play. And this one is a bit harder for people that aren't used to it. Similar to dirty talk and whispering to your partner, like we mentioned earlier, role play requires a little bit of imagination, a little bit of whose lines anyway, a little bit of flipping the script.
Getting into character, but into characters you like.
And getting into the character that you like after getting into character. I'm talking about insertion.
Oh, yes.
Maybe get some newer toys, get intimate, try something new. But Daddy, what is your favorite role play?
I like either being a dom or a sub.
My favorite role play is pretending to bake some bread.
Jesus.
Role play.
No, I like to be a tough cigar smoking daddy, so it's not far off from character. But I've also been like the dungeon master, the pony.
This is a great place to kind of bring in your fantasies and what you want to try out as well. So maybe you start out with the porn and then you get into the conversation of like, I actually think that's really hot. Can we get into that role play? It doesn't even require costumes. A lot of people always go to like the maid outfits, which it's a trope in itself, and some people are super into it. I support you, but it's not necessary to get a costume. You know what? You could order a pizza and have your partner take the full pizza before you start eating it, go to the door, knock a few times, and then start the scene from there. It's a man that brought you a little extra sausage.
See, that wouldn't work for me because I just go for the pizza.
Why not both? But I think that also brings in the fun aspect. You know, sex should be fun. And if you're not having fun, why the hell are you getting naked and putting your penis in something?
Yeah, I don't care how dominant I'm supposed to be. If I can't laugh, it's not worth it for me.
Agreed. They're all gonna laugh at you.
They're laughing at you.
And the last point they make is actually just don't have sex.
Huh?
Well, they say don't have sex, which when they talk about it, they expand on in the list. They mean take certain types of sex off the table that people feel obligated to do. If penetrative sex is something that you do too often, or is just getting bland or stale in the relationship, take penetrative sex off the table for 2 weeks and make it about mutual masturbation.
Yeah, sometimes masturbation is just hot.
Make it about getting in the shower and just getting sexy. Maybe don't even make it about the ejaculation, because getting off does not mean you're having good sex. You don't need to get off to have good sex. You can just make out, you can hug, you can feel, you can touch.
Cuddles are just as good.
Ow, 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 ow. Ooh, hot. Role play as a duck and kiss your partner. It's not all it's quacked up to be. Does that fit the bill?
Oh my God.
Maybe go to the web.
Okay, we're done.
Webbed feet like a duck.
Yeah, I got it.
DuckTales. Ooh. Get yourself some ducktail, you know? Maybe
I'm gonna get myself some duct tape.
Oh. Ooh. And that's a lovely list, but are all of those things realistic and actually good?
No.
Probably not.
Did you see us dance?
Hey, that was great dancing. I will have you know.
And earlobes? That didn't work for me.
No, but there is a science to like try different erogenous zones. Anyway, all that to say, this is just a primer. This is a starting place, and while we take it kind of somewhat silly, there are serious parts to what you can glean from these top 10 lists that you find online. Relationships don't always work. Relationships aren't all the same. You have to find what works for you and your partner and communicate it. The real takeaway from today's lesson is that libidos, your sexual energies, your arousal is all gonna be different for every relationship. And what works for one relationship is gonna be different from the next.
Yeah, people think that we have sex constantly. Because I do sex work and you do these YouTube videos. They think we're banging like rabbits. Not so.
I'm a puppy. No, but realistically, we go through ebbs and flows as well with our libidos, especially during quarantine. I have felt not super sexy a lot. because we have so much stress going on with work. We need to make sure that we're still getting content out. But I've found things within quarantine that make me feel happier, which make me feel more upbeat and sexy. Like doing video games and getting to do something different like that with you has actually made us a little bit closer, and we've had more fun together.
Strangely, we've actually had our best year getting closer.
Even if it hasn't always been about the sex, it's been a good relationship growth because we found new things to do together and we switched it up, and we've just found different ways to be sexual, whether it was getting off or not.
That being said, that doesn't mean our desire for each other has gone down.
No, it just means that your libido's not always there, but our relationship's always growing. We're always doing our best. We're always getting better and closer and more intimate in different ways. Like, we've watched tons of new movies.
Yeah, we have.
Yes. In fact, we even asked you guys how COVID's affected your relationships and your sex in all ways, shapes, and forms, whether positive and negative. And it was surprisingly a mixed bag of reactions. Lots of people said, "What is sex?" Jokingly, of course.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, they're watching the wrong channel.
But a lot of other people said that they were able to get more close with certain people. They were able to get closer with themselves. They were able to work on themselves, their bodies, maybe their image, or just their own interests in a positive way, which is a good takeaway. We're in this weird place. We're in this weird place together, and we're all gonna go through it, but we have to support each other. So I hope that this was a nice conversation, a nice reminder that, you know what, we're all going through it, and if you're not okay, it's gonna be okay.
It's okay to be not okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay?
It's okay.
Okay.
Okay. Is it
Okay.
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 Okay. But whether your libido's up, down, or you just need to turn it around, always have a safe word. And today's safe word, Daddy, is
Your makeup is terrible.
how dare you?
That's supposed to hit someone when they do their safe word. Just so you know, I need a better safe word. And with all that being said, what did we miss today? What are you doing to cope to get through this?
How are you doing during this quarantine? And leave some comments down below of maybe some pointers you have to help with libido, arousal, just feeling closer with your friends or partners. And don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video.
And ring that bell if you like ringing bells.
Yeah, it's a bell.
Bell ringer.
Turn you
I'm a
on.
bell ringer.
Turn on that bell.
I'm a ringer.
Yeah. Yeah, no, lots of people aren't getting notifications even when notifications turn on. YouTube
Yeah.
hates us, but you know what? Do it anyway.
Ring the bell anyway. It doesn't work, but whatever.
Turn it on. And if you want to check out the new merch, we have some new merch, all that good shit down below. And don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week on What's a Safe Word.
Bye. I have this dance.
Alexa, play royalty-free dance music.
I think that's a little oddly specific.
Royalty-free music maker radio from Pandora.
We haven't gone dancing together.
I know. This one's fun because you haven't danced together in a while. Oh, now you spin. Oh God.